Red is truly the voice of our generation.
We're back.
Finally. Oh my gosh. We're clipping.
What does that mean?
Clip. I mean, just keep going. I'll just turn you down a little bit.
Oh.
In case we yell.
I'm gonna yell.
Oh. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, just keep going.
Alex is the audio guy. If he wasn't here, I would not know how to do any of this.
I don't really know how to do it either.
You went to school for it.
Yeah, but I'm dumb.
You're not dumb.
Uh-huh. Well, I think we have a pretty stacked episode.
Yeah, we certainly do have a stacked episode.
Stacked.
Absolutely stacked. Wait.
Like an absolute boss.
No, every time I think of things like that, I just think of an absolute fucking unit.
Who says that?
I don't know. I think the unit from Jersey Shore.
Right.
Oh,
we
God.
hate that guy.
We are in a Jersey Shore K-hole right now.
Yeah.
But we're not going to talk about that until the next podcast, perhaps, because this one is all about 80s horror, where I thrive.
Where we both thrive. I posted a picture that had Chopping Mall in it today.
I know. I actually noticed that, and I was so happy that you picked Chopping Mall.
Of course.
I love it. So today we just kind of have some updates in the world of 80s horror to kind of break down and talk about. And then we're going to do something fun. And we're going to do our own little In Search of Darkness by talking about one horror movie from each year, from 1980 to 1989. And I just kind of picked out ones that stood out to me that are some of my favorites.
Babes, In Search of Tomorrow Part 2 is coming out.
Already?
In Search of Darkness 3 and In Search of Darkness the 90s.
Oh my gosh.
We have endless content.
I'm so excited. There's nothing that I love more than a long fucking documentary.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Amazing.
Longest documentary.
We'll talk about it in the next video, but we just watched Meet Me in the Bathroom, which was a fantastic documentary.
Agreed. Liked it. And we should watch the other one that we got, the other screener we got.
Yeah. Well, tonight we're probably going to watch, speaking of 80s horror, if we have enough time, we might watch Curtains, but
we have to finish Jersey Shore first.
Yeah, we got to see what happens. Maybe we'll move Curtains to tomorrow night. But speaking of 80s horror and all of this stuff, let's move into a little bit of news, or a little bit of light news.
Light news.
It gets the best of me.
Oh my gosh.
So just a couple of things that I want to talk about. I'll start here, like you mentioned, In Search of Darkness 3 is coming out, and it's set to have a release date of December 2022.
They sent out the ones for the people that backed it.
Yes, so we're hoping to get our eyes on this documentary as soon as possible. One time, Alex asked me what a plane, if you guys are watching, you just saw that I did the goggles with my hands. One time, Alex asked me what a plane carrying a sign was like flying in the air and what it said, and I said, hold on. Let me put on my glasses. I did the finger goggles.
Actually, you didn't say anything. You were just like, hold on. Oh. And then you were like, and then you just looked back at me, and I was just like, what the fuck?
Oh my God. We're so
like, I don't know.
That's what you get when you live with me.
Right.
Moving on to some more absurdity. I'm sure a lot of you have heard about this by now, but seeing as that I am obsessed with the killer clowns from outer space, they are getting their own video game. It is coming out to all video game platforms, Xbox, PlayStation. It's also coming out to PC, so all platforms, but it is said to be...
I didn't know our podcat was still in here.
No, she just let him back in.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. It is set to be an asymmetrical multiplayer, so I'm not sure exactly what that means. If it's more of a, like, you guys all get to play at once as all 3 characters, or I'm not too sure. I stopped playing video games years ago, so I'm not in this kind of realm, but I figured it would be kind of good to bring up since it is an 80s horror staple.
True.
And every time I do a clown look, that's what those are my boys.
You mean to tell me you're not trying to go for
Juggalos?
John Wayne Gacy?
Oh. I'm down with the clown, if you know what I mean. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Are we going to get banned?
We're probably going to get banned. Moving on to an exciting piece of news. In other news, Ashley, hello, finally acquired the Prom Night box set. If you guys keep your eye out for DVD Haul Part 40, you will see.
Is that out yet?
Nope. But it's so long, I have to edit it. But finally got my hands on, I've been like coveting this box set of all 4 Prom Night movies, and specifically for Hello Mary Lou, Prom Night Part 2. Peep Peep has to stop meowing. Podcat. But yeah, finally acquired the box set. And this, I felt $20 was a little bit on the steep side for, it's not that big of a box set. It doesn't offer very much. It's just the fact that all 4 movies are in there.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it breaks down to $5 a movie, which is what I would have paid anyways, but maybe consolidate the price for a box set. But we went while Dr. Disc, our favorite record store, was having half price for, what was the holiday?
Memorial Day or something, or Veterans Day?
No. They did half price for, the film festival.
It was for the film fest?
It was for the film fest. They did half price for the duration of the Windsor Film Festival. And we went, peep. We went on the very last day, and I finally got my box set for $10.
Finally.
That was an acceptable price for me.
Any other light news?
So, for my last bit of this is not even really news. I just kind of thought this was interesting. A writer for Bloody Disgusting named Megan Navarro wrote an article on 5 underrated, I should say, lesser known 80s slasher films. So if you guys have heard of these, let us know. I've only heard of one, so let me know. But we'll start off with Alone in the Dark from 1982. I've heard of that one. Moving on to, actually I've heard of more of these than I realized. Intruder, 1989, that's on Shudder.
Yeah, we know that one.
Yep. Rocktober Blood from 1984. I've never heard of that one, but it sounds like a really fun Halloween watch.
Yeah.
The Slayer from 1982 and Stage Fright from 1987.
Right.
So I guess the first 2 I've heard of, but
yeah.
Other than that, nope.
But yeah, well, that's cool though.
Yeah. So I will work on writing another article for the website, and I will leave important links. We'll direct you over to the website where you can see a follow-up article to the pod.
Yeah, true. Let's go teamnefarious.com.
Yeah, an ad. So, movies, Peep Peep, if you would just stop meowing every time we try to take something seriously.
Yeah. Podcast. Well, I don't know what this is the kind of production quality you get over at Team Nefarious. You get
real. Thanks, Mom.
Shit is happening.
This makes it seem like we still live with our parents, but we don't.
We're just
we just record here.
Because
so
it's free.
Literally. Okay, movies I would like to highlight from 1980 to 1989. So starting off with Maniac from 1980, directed by William Lustig, who I just had to have Alex Google because I forgot to write it down. But this one I feel like is really good to highlight as the one I'm talking about from 1980, because I feel like it is one of those slashers that holds up, but so does the remake with Elijah Wood.
Yeah, I like the remake.
Yeah, I love the remake. There's a scene where the girl's dancing to Goodbye Horses from The Silence of the Lambs, R.I.P. Q Lazarus,
Right.
and he scalps her,
Right.
and it's fantastic. Anyways, moving on to a movie that we haven't seen yet, but I've been dying to watch, and that is The Funhouse from 1981. Yep, directed by Tobe Hooper of Texas Chainsaw Massacre fame, our boy. But this one just has a creature in it with gnarly, just practical effects. And the reason why I'm so stuck on it is because of In Search of Darkness, and I haven't seen it yet, and that's one that I really want to watch.
Well, we'll check it out. Wasn't there like a nod to that on the Terrifier movie poster?
Yeah, I think so. Anyways, moving on to 1982 and The Slumber Party Massacre, directed by Amy Holden Jones. A female directing a movie about a titty movie about girl. Wasn't there no titties in it?
No, there was a lot of titties in that one.
Well, one didn't have titties.
Like everyone after that.
But it's just like
It was a driller killer movie.
Yeah, but you wouldn't think that that was directed by a woman, and it's like good for
well,
her for directing that.
Yeah, I think it was supposed to have like social commentary about it.
Yeah, but I feel like when you go to the theater, like back then, like people who aren't like us, we're just constantly looking who is making these movies and stuff.
Yeah, true.
When you first saw this in theaters in 1982, you were probably like, I don't know who directed it. What kind of sick man made this movie?
Yeah, true, because most of those kinds of movies were made by men. But,
yeah. Very cool.
And she did it better than anyone else.
Oh, yeah. Should we check out the remake?
Why would we want to ruin it after watching that one?
I don't know. What culture said it was okay?
Right. They steal your content, so...
Ah!
Josh from What Culture? We know you're stealing.
Oh, God. Okay.
What? It's every time you post on Instagram, you mention a movie and it pops up on What Culture
or something like that I've worked on for months and months and months.
Yeah.
The only I've kept in my brain as soon as I post it, it's like in a What Culture video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Anyways.
And we know they watched your stories. We got the proof. We got the receipt.
Don't start beef. Moving on to
We're supposed to have more beef.
I know, but we're toning the beef down.
We were supposed to have beef with Logan Paul. Well, we'll get to that.
Oh, we
next
can
episode.
have beef with Logan Paul, but I'm not paying $7 for a Prime.
All right, yeah, we'll get to that.
Hold that thought. Anyways, I actually had to use the name of the next movie as a nickname for one of our irate customers last week, who decided to come in with no pants on, but a sleeping bag wrapped around their waist. So I'm sure you can guess that we are talking about Sleepaway Camp from 1983, directed by Robert Hiltzik. And as soon as I saw this person, and we all like converged and we saw them wearing a sleeping bag wrapped up as the pants, I was like, oh, Sleepaway Camp is in the store. That was the same person that asked us to call a cab 3 times and never went out for their cab.
Yeah, literally.
Anyways, Sleepaway Camp. I remember I still have the exact VHS that I first saw it on. I believe I was in grade 11 the first time I saw Sleepaway Camp, and that final image of Angela will always be burned into my brain.
Yeah.
Didn't you meet her? Felissa Rose?
I don't know, maybe. I probably did.
I think you said you met her.
Yeah, I've met like a whole bunch of them.
Of them?
Yeah, the final girls.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like the OGs.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
PJ Souls from fucking Friday the 13th.
Heather Langenkamp.
And I haven't met Heather Langenkamp.
I thought you said you did.
No.
Oh.
I wish.
Oh.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool.
I met Naomi Grossman from
American Horror Story. She looks like an angel. She seems like such a nice lady.
Yeah, she was pretty nice.
Moving on to, I guess, speaking of Heather Langenkamp, 1984 is A Nightmare on Elm Street, directed by Wes Craven, the one and only.
The one and only.
The movie that I feel like shaped so many of like this generation's formative years was Freddy. So that one is just a staple.
True, I agree.
And then moving on to another one of my personal favorites, and starring there is a couple of 80s ladies that I love the most, and Linnea Quigley is one of them. And that is The Return of the Living Dead from 1985, directed by Dan O'Bannon. And there's just something about this movie that just feels so sexually driven, but like so
sexually charged.
Yeah, like, but so like grotesque at the same time. If you guys watch my main channel, you guys see I have the Tar Man in all my videos. I have so many Return of the Living Dead posters and just so much. I just love it so much.
We'll have to start
switching out the vinyl.
Yeah, we'll have to start switching out the vinyl again.
Okay, so moving on to 1986 and one of our favorite directors together, David Cronenberg. Maybe we'll change this out for my vinyl of The Fly by Howard Shore soundtrack. Yeah. Amazing the way it just crescendos and comes in. It's fucking beautiful. I love how it starts. So yeah, 1986, David Cronenberg, The Fly. 1987, and Clive Barker's Hellraiser. Yeah, let us know what your thoughts are on the new Hellraiser. I feel like I'm still sitting with my thoughts. I feel like I really liked the character designs.
Sitting with your thoughts? Why do you sit with your thoughts that much?
I don't know. I just think a lot, okay?
You're sitting with your thoughts?
Yeah, I sit alone with my thoughts at work while I'm fixing the shelf for 8 hours with my thoughts about Hellraiser. Anyways, I loved the design of the Cenobites. I loved all of that. I loved the set design, but the main characters, the actual people in the movie, were so unlikable. And I feel like they used the lament configuration more as a weapon and not as a tool or like a puzzle. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I feel like it was more of an object and not a driving force for this. I mean, it was in a way, but they just used it as a weapon so much. It was like so unsatisfying. Yeah, I agree. But something that is not unsatisfying, 1988 and Tim Burton's Beetlejuice. But because I'm a little Beetlejuice. Because I'm a little bit biased with Beetlejuice, I made sure to add They Live by John Carpenter. Oh, right. Just to make sure that I kind of evened the scales there. You have to look at that as John Carpenter. Yeah, just to make sure. I was like, oh God, I already messed up once. And then to finish it off is another one of my personal favorites, and Society from 1989, directed by Brian Yuzna, and a fantastic use of practical effects with the shunting. Just a disgusting time. And I love every minute of it. Oh my gosh. Well, so that wraps up some 80s movie recommendations, our own little In Search of Darkness here. Should that be the title of the pod? Our own little In Search of Darkness? Yeah. That's a good one. Well, that's a good list. Yeah. I mean, you worked on it mostly. But well, yeah, I felt because you had a lot of time at work. But I also felt a little bit biased because you watch In Search of Darkness 80,000 times. But I also am a specific fan of 80s horror, and like I feel like that's where I like to just continually go back to. Do you know who hates
80s horror, Sarah Hawkinson.
I thought you were going to be like, Rimmer.
He loves it. Sarah Hawkinson, who we should beef with.
No, we're not beefing with her. She's pregnant. We don't need to cause her any stress. But I will say, I think the 80s are where it's at. They had the best effects. It was just we don't give a fuck. We're going to make a really fun, disgusting, gory good time. And a lot of them are really fun and funny. And they all have good social commentary. It's just you got to look for it.
And a lot of the movies nowadays don't have that kind of stuff.
No, but
they don't have the passion.
No, but I feel like they're still trying to rip off what was laid before them without the passion that was there.
Yeah. But like a lot of times, even when they CGI like blood and stuff, it loses all of like the creativity and passion.
Do you remember I believe it was Saw, the final chapter, when the blood is hot pink? Pete remembers? He wasn't even alive.
Yeah, no, I do remember that. Yeah.
It makes the movie look bad. I think it was Saw 3D. The final chapter, I think that was the one, and it just looked so bad. Like they were trying to compensate for the blood in 3D.
Yeah.
But it just made it worse.
I agree. Well,
shall we wrap it up and go watch Jersey Shore?
Yes.
And possibly go have some cake and ice cream.
Yes, and possibly make it. I'm just kidding. No, I'm joking.
You can make out.
Well, this was another episode of
This is Important. I got fully torqued there. No, oh God. I'm leaving.
All right, we'll just end it there.